turn a place like this to this in only 9 days. Okay, it's been a while since we were out here. We're out here on camera anyway. Last time you saw it, this place was an absolute mess. There were no garden beds. I'd ripped it all out. Today, though, is the day that we finish our holy trinity of turf project. We went with some Tiff Tough hybrid Bermuda out the front, which I've been mowing with a cylinder mower. It looks absolutely amazing. Sir Grange in another section out the front. Color on that stuff is just out of this world. Out the back, though, we are going with some Eureka Kikuyu. Now, thanks to Lawn Solutions for hooking us up with these 3 different types of turf. It's going to be great to test different mowers and trimmers on different types of turf to show you guys. As I said though, today we are laying the Eureka Kikuyu here, and I am very, very excited because it's been a desert out here for too long. Now, I am not a gardener. I've got some plants in here. I don't even know how to pronounce them, but we're going with some Pittosporum. If I'm saying that wrong, please let me know. I'm sure people will anyway. These are meant to be a bit of a screening plant, fast growing. I'm going to try and sort of hedge them into some sort of shape. Don't know, should be good. Some Japanese maples as well. The only plant we kept was the teddy bear magnolia. Got this acacia limelight put in this beautiful pot. Again, I'm not a gardener, but I think it turned out looking all right. We're not going with a hard edge here. We've mulched it, and it's sort of I want to have a flowing garden edge, just a natural edge that I'll trim along vertically and try and keep it nice and neat. It's going to be interesting to see if the Kikuyu will creep into the garden bed. I'm sure it will, but I'll spray it as we go. I just wanted to try it out with a natural sort of turf edge. I may or may not regret that. We'll soon find out. Now, I haven't gone crazy on the soil prep here. In the turfed areas, there's probably about 80 to 100 mil of turf underlay, decent quality. We used to have buffalo here. I sprayed it out, blitzed it all up with a cultivator, made a very big mess, and then we've gone for some rough levels. I'm not too concerned. You generally get the turf rolls and they're not perfectly, level anyway, so we'll achieve level over a few seasons with some top dressing. Now, the reason I've gone for this Eureka Kikuyu out here is, if you've seen any of my videos where I mow overgrown lawns, a lot of those lawns are Kikuyu lawns that haven't been mown for potentially 12 to 24 months. And the runners have just gone insane and it's an absolute mess. But I want to show you the positive side of it, how nice you can get it looking with actual very little care. That's the plan anyway. We're going to be mowing it with a rotary mower, different types of rotary mowers. So if you're new here, make sure you follow so you can see the progress of this lawn and see how nice this Eureka Kikuyu can look. First things first, I'm going to throw down some starter fertilizer just to give it sort of the best start possible. I'll water that in lightly. Then we're going to put down these turf rolls. Okay, our beautiful Eureka Kikuyu has arrived. We've got 40 rolls there. Now, if you're not going to lay this like right away, good idea to get the hose out, give it a little sprinkle. You don't want it drying out, especially if it's a really hot day. I'm going to lay this right away though, so straight into the wheelbarrow, roll them out the back and roll them out. Now, this is a pretty simple process. If you had a straight edge around the garden bed, you'd start there so you're not trampling all over it, but I'm not too precious about this stuff. Now, if you're laying it on a slope, lay it across the slope. You can see here I'm laying it in a brickwork pattern so the seams don't all line up, and you can see me butting the edges of the turf rolls up against each other. This stuff goes down quite easily. It's really simple to do. If you want to save your back a bit, get a mate to come and help you. Unfortunately, I've got none. Now we're going to cut some of these around the edges. I just use these shears. Some people just use a knife, whatever works for you. As I said, I use these shears here. I give them a bit of a sharpen with the grinder before I start because they are quite thrashed. This is really the only sort of fiddly bit, but again, very, very simple. You'll work it out. Try and avoid having really small patches as they tend to dry out quicker. All right, that turned out pretty well, I think, anyway. I don't know if you can see in the video the sort of free-form edge I'm going for there. I'll carve that out with the trimmer once this all has rooted, but time to water it in. Now I'm going to run over it. I haven't got a turf roller, so I'm going to use the Massport cylinder mower. Good use for it. Good water to start with is awesome. Make sure you don't flood it over the next few weeks. Just try and keep it moist. Hey! That was quick. I know, but it's just so that first hand water is amazing, isn't it? Want a bit? Yeah, sure. So my irrigation needs have definitely been taken care of. Not going to have any issue keeping this turf nice and moist. I laid this Eureka Kikuyu about 9 days ago. It's gone nuts with the rain that we've had, combined with the warmer temps. I've only had to water it once. So many people that lay new turf wonder, when should I cut it for the first time? And you can read a lot of different things on it, anywhere from 10 to 14 days to 6 weeks, some people say. Some people suggest a height you should cut it at. All different grass types take sort of differently. This one's taken quite well. For me, once it's rooted in quite well, I'm happy to give it a mow. I always go off a bit early, but I am a professional at stuffing things up. A couple of reasons I want to give it a cut today. It is, as I said, starting to grow quite quickly. I don't want the length to get out of hand. I've done some of these first mows on Kikuyu grasses, and they've been like this high, and then you cut them back and they just look awful. So we're just going to nick the top off it today. Plus we've got a new mower here to try out, the 60 volt Greenworks Self Propelled Mower. It's an 18-inch mower, so I've been keen to give that a go. Let's see how this first cut goes. Now this is the second bit of Greenworks gear I've tried out. I tried out their ride-on a few weeks ago. You may have seen that video. Went and took on an overgrown lawn with it. This is from their 60 volt range. It's an 18-inch self-propelled battery mower. It can bag, mulch, and also side discharge, which I'm a big fan of. So there we go, that's what we took off, about a third of a catcher. Again, I didn't want to go too aggressive. Mowed it on the highest setting, which on that thing is at about 80 mil. It actually looks sensational. It was only laid 8 or 9 days ago. The colour is great. This stuff grows amazingly. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but I'm always super keen to get that first mow done. I do always wait until it's taken though, but I don't like letting it get out of hand, half a foot high, and then ripping in and scalping it. That's really not satisfying. So just nicking the top off it like that, and then we'll start to go down a bit lower as it really starts to root in. But yeah, I think I'm gonna love this grass. We're off to a good start. Let me know what you think. Again, it's still early days. There's still some patches here that are gonna fill out, but it's still very early days.